Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, April 3rd. Well, we have another stalled out frontal system to deal with that has settled in just to the south of the I-95 corridor. That frontal boundary zone will act as a conduit for moisture to ride along, and indeed, it looks like a steady batch of rainfall will cross Pennsylvania late today into the overnight hours. It looks like it'll be a steady soaking rainfall in places like Philadelphia all the way up to New York City. Washington, D.C. will also get in on the rain overnight tonight, but it looks like it will be heaviest just north of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border from, let's say, the Mason-Dixon line all the way up to southern New York. A steady, quite heavy rainfall overnight tonight. Now, some of that rain will slacken off a bit during the middle part of the day on Friday, and then pick up in intensity in the form of occasional showers and maybe even a thunderstorm or two, especially south of the Mason-Dixon line, late Friday and Friday night as a cold frontal system moves in from the west. So really like two different rain events to talk about. One is a steady batch of cool rainfall overnight tonight, especially from the Pennsylvania-Maryland border north and east to, let's say, southern New York. And then it slackens off a bit during the day tomorrow, much cooler on Friday throughout the Mid-Atlantic region, but then another round of showers and perhaps even some scattered thunderstorms roll in late tomorrow and tomorrow night with the next cold front. That cold front sweeps everything off the East Coast early on Saturday, paves the way for improving weather Saturday afternoon and a very nice Sunday, but then another soaking rain event looks like it'll head into the Mid-Atlantic region for Monday afternoon and Monday night. Well, let's start off by looking at the latest surface map. And here is that frontal system that has stalled out, basically a stationary front cutting across the Mid-Atlantic region over the southern part of Virginia into the northern part of North Carolina, a west to east orientation. And indeed, we'll see the radar in a moment, but there's lots of moisture that will just ride along that frontal boundary zone. And it looks like the heaviest rain will fall overnight tonight in this region right in here, basically centered or focused on Pennsylvania. Certainly get some showers across the D.C. metro region, but rather steady and even at times heavy rainfall throughout Pennsylvania overnight tonight and into southern New York. That batch moves off, and then we'll have to deal with this cold frontal system late in the day tomorrow and again tomorrow night. Well, here's a current look at the nationwide radar from the Mesonet.org website. A couple of things to point out here. First of all, the low pressure is starting to intensify right over Missouri, and there's just a ton of moisture on its eastern flank here. All this is in the form of rain and thunderstorms, and indeed, in the warm sector today, there can be some severe weather in places like Missouri all the way down to Arkansas, down to northern Louisiana. Probably the focus of the severe weather threat today will be across Arkansas. There can be some severe thunderstorms, even some isolated tornadoes. Tornadoes, by the way, have been way down for the year so far in the January, February, March time frame. Some of the lowest numbers we've seen in the past 10 years for the first 3 months of the season. Today, in fact, could present perhaps the greatest threat of tornadoes that we've seen all year. But again, so far, and let's hope this continues, the tornado count is way below normal for this time of the year. But this is the area to watch later today for some severe weather. And actually it can form any time during the morning hours as well across Missouri and Arkansas and northern Louisiana. Severe thunderstorms, flash flooding, and isolated tornadoes. Meanwhile, on the northwest flank, in the cold air, another significant snow event for places like Minnesota and upstate Wisconsin over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. Again, this is on the cold side, where they can get several inches of accumulating snow, perhaps as much as 8 or 10 inches in upstate Minnesota. And on the southeast side of this developing low-pressure area, severe weather threat over the next 12 hours. Well, here's a current look at the infrared satellite imagery loop from the SSEC Wisconsin website. High clouds here depicted by this particular imagery loop right where that developing low-pressure system is. You can see last couple of frames here have some developing thunderstorms. Again, some of this can be severe over the next few hours. Doesn't have to wait till the afternoon to become severe. It looks like over the next few hours during the latter part of the morning there can be some severe thunderstorm activity from Missouri, southward across Arkansas and into northeastern Texas, northern Louisiana. We have an influx of Gulf of Mexico moisture-laden air on the southeast flank of this storm. Meanwhile, on the northwest cold side, snow will develop, accumulating snow all the way upstate Minnesota and northern Wisconsin over the next 12 hours or so. Notice here kind of the last few frames, you can see a kind of a west to east movement of this band of clouds, and we know there's heavy showers and isolated thunderstorms underneath these clouds. And again, it'll ride right along that frontal boundary zone that has stalled out just on the south side of the Mid-Atlantic region. It looks like steady, heavy rain will cross the state of Pennsylvania at the end of today, and especially in the overnight hours. Well, let's take a look at some GFS forecast maps for this upcoming event. We'll look at 12-hour increments from tonight, Thursday night, all the way into Saturday, and then we'll take a peek look, a quick look ahead at the Monday event, because it looks like there will be a significant rain event for the Mid-Atlantic region Monday afternoon into Monday night. This is the forecast map from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run for this evening. That big batch of clouds and heavy rainfall out over the Ohio Valley will basically move from west to east. Looks like it'll cross the state of Pennsylvania. D.C. area will certainly get some shower activity overnight tonight, but it looks like the heaviest rain will set up from Pennsylvania-Maryland border on northward to southern part of New York. Again, I expect a steady and at times a heavy rainfall tonight in Philadelphia and the suburbs and all the way up to New York City, and there will be certainly shower activity in the D.C. metro region as well. Notice here the frontal system is just sitting here throughout the evening hours, and again, it is basically acting as a conduit for all that moisture to move to the from the west to the east into the Mid-Atlantic region. But here's the forecast map for tomorrow morning, Friday morning, and that first batch of precipitation will work its way out of the area during the late night or early morning hours, and then there may be kind of a break in the action or a slacken. It'll slacken off in intensity, maybe just some drizzle or light rain during the midday hours, and then we'll have to deal with this cold frontal system that will be crossing the Ohio Valley during the day on Friday. And while that front will cause some severe weather activity today in the mid-Mississippi Valley, the lower Mississippi Valley, most of that will weaken during the day tomorrow, although there certainly can be some thunderstorms that make it all the way to the Mid-Atlantic region late tomorrow or tomorrow night associated with that cold frontal system. And here's the forecast map for tomorrow evening, and again, kind of a separate two different rain events coming. A steady soaking rain overnight tonight, especially from Pennsylvania-Maryland border on northward to southern New York, and then kind of a break in the action during the middle part of the day on Friday before the cold frontal shower and thunderstorm activity moves in late tomorrow and tomorrow night. And again, there can be some scattered thunderstorms associated with that cold frontal system. Let's now jump ahead 12 hours. And here is the forecast map for Saturday morning. Pretty good timing here for the Mid-Atlantic region. That frontal system will push off the East Coast early Saturday, maybe some lingering clouds, especially across Philadelphia and New York City early Saturday, but for the most part, it'll be a clearing type of day, quite breezy and quite mild, and it paves the way for a beautiful Sunday here in the Mid-Atlantic region thanks to this high-pressure system that come Saturday morning will be out over the south-central states. That moves right overhead of the Mid-Atlantic area on Sunday. Sunday looks like a great day for this time of the year here in the Mid-Atlantic region. But let's jump ahead now to Monday morning's forecast map. And here it is. We skipped over Sunday to Monday because there is a significant rain event in the works for later Monday into Monday night. This is the forecast map for Monday morning. Still dry at this time, but by afternoon, rain will be pushing in from the southwest towards the northeast, and it looks like it could be a rather significant rain event Monday afternoon and Monday night. The Phillies have their home opener 3 o'clock Monday afternoon. That is in jeopardy because of this particular system. The low moves well to the north and west of the I-95 corridor, and indeed we get a significant rainfall out of this, it looks like, in the PM hours on Monday right into the early part of Tuesday, and then somewhat cooler air moves in behind it for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So several different rain events coming over the next several days here in the Mid-Atlantic region. That's it for now. For the SIWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.